Hello everyone, Vivi Gomes here. Today I will go to show you how to we use this Google Sheets integration with Clojure. I create this GitHub repo just to show you how to interact with the Java SDK for Google Sheets API. Right, so and this is the basically example on how to do it. So first of all, let's clone this repo. So here I am on the terminal, so let's open more here, and then I'm going to clone this repo. Okay, this repo was cloned, so Clojure Google Sheets. First of all, let's run the lane depths to upgrade the dependencies. And then we need to go to the Google Console developers in order to create our key, right? So our auth key. So here in my Google API, so I am logged already. I can go here in the credentials, click on create credential, and you choose OAuth client ID. We can select the kind of your application, the application type. I could say that it's desktop app, or I don't know, maybe web application. But let's say desktop app, and I will call it as a Clojure Google Sheets credential. Right, so the name is up to you actually. Okay, creating this. Alright, so and now I have the client ID and client secret, and I can also download it by here. So I have another keys as you can see, but I click here and download it. So after download it, I can send this JSON to my application here where I clone it. So as you can see, if I access the resources, we have this example, which is the template credentials example. Let's see the structure. So this is the structure of this one. But if I go to my downloads, I think my downloads is here. Yeah. So in my client secret and put it here, I have this client. So let's just rename it for the credentials.json. So okay, this is the credential.json. If I take a look here, and I will remove it soon. So this is the example of my credentials. Great, so I'm good to go. So basically, if I type like lane run, probably it will work. It should work actually, because I basically use my credentials. But first, as you can see, it opens my browser to request my authorization, and here it's saying that this app isn't verified for sure. It's basically my local environment app, and then I can click here advance and go to quick start, which is unsafe, and then I can type allow, because this is asking if I allow they to write read informations. Okay, so received verification code, you may now close the window. So here, and it works. What it did, it's basically read this spreadsheet where I created, which is basically some Ibovespa prices, where is the Brazilian stock market. As you can see, what I do here is put some stocks and current price using the Google Finance, and high price, low price, and the GIF of them. So as you can see, when we run it, it reads the value from this spreadsheet, right? So yeah, it works. We can integrate it. We are ready to integrate inside our spreadsheet using Google Sheets API. After that, we will open our code and how look better deeply how it works. So let me open my IntelliJ, because I'm using IntelliJ for Clojure codes. I like IntelliJ because of the way of we interrupt with Java. It's easy, ready to go. Okay, okay. So as you can see, the structure here, it's quite simple. In the project, I just using the Google API client, um, and also Google OAuth client, and for sure the Google API services. So these three, and some another Clojure dependencies where I use to run it by CLI, convert JSON, and so on. So, and what we have here basically in the core service, uh, we create the Google service using this Google one, and then here we read the values. Basically, we pass the spreadsheet ID and the range that we are wanted to read. And if you look at this sheet config, this is not my credentials. This is more like the config of the spreadsheet, where I add here the spreadsheet ID. So this spreadsheet ID, it's here, right? So it's the spreadsheet ID. This write sheet ID, it's because I use this tab to write values, simulating the stocks that I am buying. So when I can see this sheet ID here, so the first one it's the 0, the second one it's this number here, 27152. And the start row that I would like to write is this one. So basically you can change, you can add your own spreadsheet here. So it's basically it. And we can also, I create also the option that you write stocks. So stocks here I receive as a parameter, and then I call this append row in this namespace, where basically, actually the append row is not here in this namespace, the write values is inside this namespace. So basically we have some functions here. So the get values is to read. So as you can see, we are using the Google Service interop Java. So using Google Services, we call spreadsheet method, and then value is passing the range and call the execute. So we get the response here. It's the same for the write and the append. The differences here between write and append, it's because write just write values and overwrite, and append value. So basically this, like we are using here the right, but if I change to append sheet, let's see, it receives the service, the IG of the sheet, which is this run, also the sheet ID with this one, and then sheet ID, and then just row, so basically the row, so there is no necessary to call the start row, right? I can basically comment it. Yeah, so, and if I run again the this, I can pass some stocks that I want to buy, like we have here in the examples. I'm just basically starting these examples. So as you can see, I can run passing this information with the JSON of stocks that I'm buying. So basically, if I run this, it will append on my spreadsheet. Let's see. It's running. Oh, some error here. Okay, syntax error. Let's see. Character cannot be cast. Alright, no problem. Let's look it better. So basically, we need to pass this here, right? So, because it receives the array inside application. Let's see if it works. If not, we can deep dive in the problem. Okay, it probably works because we didn't find the error. Okay, so it works. As you can see, these two, we have another stocks that we buy. We can also pass the another one. Let's just add this to finish and show you that we are ready to go. Let's change the stock that we are wanting to buy, like, oh, this one, for example, it's a good price. So I mean, the height, it's the 36, now it's 30. So let's imagine that we are going to buy this stock with 30, 40, 30, 40. So like we are buying 100 stocks by 3040, which means that it's 340 reais, and nowadays price it's the same, 3040. And these two, it's not necessary now because my idea in the future is to calculate it on running. Okay, so we are adding this JSLG3, so it should appear on our sheet 2, and yeah, it's going. So this is very basically example. I recommend you to clone this repo and then see basically this namespace where we are integrating with Java Google Sheets, right? So that's it. Thank you for watching and see you later.